Hey, what's up guys? I'm Bree, the artist behind astitchingwitch, an embroidery and crochet brand, and today we're doing another everything I crocheted for a market vlog. For this video, we're focusing on Halloween and all things spooky season. I'm doing 3 markets in October, which is already exhausting me. I'm going into my second of 3 back-to-back weekends, and then I've got a weekend off, and then I've got one more market at the end of October. So we have been locked in and crocheting like crazy. With the markets I'm doing this year, they are a little bit less generic Halloween and a little bit more niched out, which I personally am super excited about. I really love the opportunity to kind of flex my artistic muscles and do things a little bit differently for events. So this was the perfect opportunity to do that. Although I've been working so hard, I think it's just been super refreshing to just do something a little different, and I hope that these plushies reflect that. I will have all the patterns in the description down below, so if you're interested in making any of these for yourself, be sure to go down there and grab what you're looking for. So before we dive in, let me tell you a little bit about the markets I have coming up. I am actually leaving as soon as I'm done filming this to drive about an hour and a half away to set up for Kentucky Punk Rock Flea Market. So the majority of these plushies are falling into that like spooky punk rock grunge umbrella. I really thought it would be important to do something a little different. We all know as crochet artists that you tend to see the same patterns over and over at markets, and I really strive to do something a little differently just so that I can be set apart and feel like I'm still channeling my creative energy, if you know what I mean. A lot of these patterns I did not modify, but I decorated them, and I'll give you a little bit more information on that. And then immediately following next weekend, I have a cryptids and monsters festival called Goatman Festival, and it was a blast last year. I did extremely well. Honestly, it exceeded my expectations, so I know that I really need to bring my A game and make way more than I did last year. And we will see if that is possible, considering I'm doing back-to-back weekends. I am going to aim to leave some of what I made at home so that I don't sell it tomorrow. However, easier said than done. I am going to do this video in 2 parts. So I'm going to go and sell tomorrow, and then I'm going to come home and over the course of the week try to make as many more cryptids and spooky plushies as I can. And then I'm going to sit back down here with you guys and show you what I managed to make in the like 4 days I'll have between events, because it starts on Friday of next weekend. So I realistically only have Monday through Thursday to scramble to make a few more things, but I am gonna come on here and show you what I'm able to make in that time so that you can see the full spectrum of everything I made. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into everything I've made so far. I have this bad habit of like talking to you guys while I'm actively digging in my bag of plushies next to me. I really need to not do that. I really need to like talk and then grab so that I can cut the digging in the bags part out of these videos. We're making a note. Okay. Starting out strong, we have this baby. See, I'm doing it right now. Oh my God. Starting out strong, we have this baby that I named Orion, and he is so precious. I went with a celestial theme for him because I personally just love stars. And so we have the little chain detail here. We've got the star details all over his body. I pretty much followed this pattern true to form. The only thing I did differently was change the colors and do stars instead of sunflowers. The original pattern is pink with sunflowers, and it's so cute, but it didn't quite fit the punk rock feel I was going for. So everything else is the same. I just changed the decals and the colors. So then going off of that same pattern, I made Aurora, which is kind of like my take on a unicorn or a Pegasus. I guess a Pegasus because it has wings, right? But same thing, same pattern. The only thing I did differently on this pattern is instead of doing the 3 eyes, I embroidered eyes, and I actually just took this tail and made 2 more tails and sewed them on his wings. So that's what I mean when I say like I personalized, I adapted, I customized some of these patterns. You can still create these exact same plushies following the patterns. I didn't do any crazy freehand work really with any of these, just adapted what I was already given. And I just love the chain with the pearls. She's so cute. Up next, I have a pattern that I actually just finished pattern testing this week. Don't bark. So it was honestly perfect timing that she chose me to pattern test for this, considering my lineup of events coming up. If this comes out and the pattern isn't out quite yet, it should be very shortly. And that is this spider cat. I mean, and she does have 2 more arms that you can do to make it more spidery. I personally wanted it to feel more like just a punk rock cat than spider, but this was an excellent pattern. It worked up really fast. And most of this detailing that I did is a pretty much exact replica of her instructions. So this is a great pattern. It had lots of visuals and it's just, I mean, come on. I actually made 2 of them because I like this pattern so much. So I made a bigger one, which it's the same pattern. I just use a jumbo. This is, I think this is Premier Parfait. And then this is Loops and Thread Chenille Home Slim, I think. I don't know. Both are chenille, one is chunkier than the other. So this was the second one I made. Oh my God, like you're joking. I'm obsessed with all of these like, just all the little details is what made this market prep some of the most fun market prep I've ever done. Like, it's so cute. Up next is a classic, and that is Mothman. This was my best seller last year. I cannot stress that enough. I didn't do the Punk Rock Flea, I did do the Goatman Festival, but like, I cannot stress to you enough how much this was a bestseller. And when I sold out of them, people were asking about them like crazy. I've made 2 so far. This one is in chenille yarn. This one is in blanket yarn, same pattern. I'm gonna bring 1 to Punk Rock Flea. I'm gonna leave 1 at home for Goatman, and I'm gonna aim to make like 2 or 3 more, which is wishful thinking, but I'm gonna try because I'm telling you, this sold like crazy. If you make any of the patterns from this bundle, I'm telling you, it's the Mothman. And actually this pattern comes in a bundle. So you get the Mothman and the, you get the Mothman and the Chthulu pattern 2 in 1. The Chthulu is a super cute pattern too. I actually really struggled to sell the Chthulu last year for whatever reason. I thought he was so cute. But I probably won't make a Chthulu this year for that reason. However, it comes as a bundle in this pattern, and this pattern is excellent. I highly recommend it, so. I did also make some miniature Mothmen. I think I made 10 of these, and I'm gonna try to split it 5 and 5 for the events. This was also a free pattern, a really great free pattern, works up super quick. It does require a little bit of sewing with the antennas and the wings, but again, Mothman was my best seller last year, and I'm not gonna be caught slipping this year, so I made a little ones as well. There's a bunch in my bag. They'll make it out eventually. Up next, one of my all-time favorite patterns, and that is these clowns. So much fun. This one also works up very quick. It's super customizable. I mean, you can change anything about their faces, their color palettes. Last year, I even went ahead and free-handed some of these into animals. I made a bear, a frog, a possum. I'll go ahead and insert some pictures around of some of the ones I made last year. I didn't get a chance to go that in depth this year, but it was so fun and flexible, and I just really enjoyed it. And they have little pom-poms on them. I love clowns, I love crocheting clowns, and I have made a lot of different clown patterns. This is my favorite strictly because it is that perfect happy medium where it's a really good size, but it works up pretty quick. There are some bigger ones that I've made in the past that I love. I'll actually insert a picture of the big ones and put the pattern in the description for that one too if you're interested, because they are also fantastic patterns. The other pattern is made for animal clowns, so if you're not into freehanding, like that is a great alternative as well. They're just much bigger and take a lot more time, a little bit less market prep friendly, but I have had great success with them in the past. So if you have time to make the bigger clowns, I'll include them for you as well because they're awesome. Next up is one that's a little bit different. I have been honestly dying to make this pattern for a while. I've had it saved and I've just been waiting for the right opportunity, and that is this alien kitty. I feel like this big light shows all of the polyfill that gets stuck to these. But oh my goodness, she's so precious. Got her little tail. My only qualm with myself in making this pattern is I think if I went back, I would do it in different colors. I might do it in greens, like the reference picture, because I think it would just give alien a little bit more, but it's such a cute pattern. And it is a snuggler. I stuffed it a little bit because I like my snugglers a little plump, but very cute, very floppy. I'm really hopeful she gets adopted this weekend, so. Up next, I've got another one of my bigger ticket items. This is another pattern that I have been making for a long time. I honestly made this pattern way back when I first started to learn crochet. It was one of the first big patterns I attempted to make. It took me like 5 days the first time I made it, and it honestly didn't come out very good, but it's cool to look back and see the progress that I've made. You know what, let me embarrass myself. This is the first one I've ever made. I had crocheted inside out. It was a mess. I didn't even know I was crocheting inside out at the time. I just thought it was supposed to look like that. But that is this two-headed bear. It does have the details in the pattern to do the bunny ears and the bear ears, because I know originally I did half bunny, half bear. Typically I stick to just double bear because it saves me a little bit of time. I know that the ears really do eat up a lot of crochet time, but I really, really love this pattern. It gets a lot of attention. It looks beautiful. It honestly works up decently fast considering how big it is too. It's a great pattern. So this is one of my all-time favorite patterns to bring back every spooky season. Another pattern I had wish listed for a really long time and was eager to finally make was this Luna moth. It is a snuggler as well, and I just love all of the beautiful details on the wings and everything. I feel like the Halloween, punk rock, grungy, umbrella, that type of crowd, they love a moth. I love a moth, so I think it was the perfect opportunity. I think it still fits into spooky season without being so like, this is a pumpkin, this is a ghost, which I did make those, we're getting to them, but I just loved her. I wanted an excuse to make her. She's so pretty, and so here she is. Up next, I have a pair of bunnies. It's a free pattern that I basically just did all of the accessorizing for. It's a great pattern. It works up super fast. Honestly, I know when I do these videos, sometimes I'm like, this pattern was okay. I love every pattern that I worked on this time. I recommend them all. I think they were all great. Normally, I'll try some new patterns and I'm like, that one was a little, but no, these are all great patterns. So I'm just gonna stop saying that they're all great. Just know they all come recommended. So here's the bunny. Like I said, it's just the body pattern and I did all of the detailing, but that's half the fun. Let your creativity go wild. The original pattern, she has her hands together like this and she's holding a heart. So it's a good option for Valentine's Day as well. I made two of them. And these are some of my favorites that I made. I'm really excited about these. Another big one that I made that I would have loved to make more of, but just kind of ran out of time, is made by the same pattern creator as the two like four-legged dragon monsters, the first two that I showed you. She's a great pattern creator. Honestly, you should just take a look at her whole Etsy. There are so many good options that are in the same aesthetic as the two from the beginning and the one I'm about to show you. And that is this long boy. Oh my gosh, I wish I could have made so many of these, but I mean, let's be real, it did take some time. These are pretty long limbs, but like, it's so cute. This might be my favorite of the entire batch. He's so derpy and like, oh my God, I don't know. There's just something about him. He sits like, he's so cute. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be too mad if this didn't sell and I got to keep him forever, but I know someone will adopt him because like, look at that stupid face. If I get the chance this week while I'm prepping for Goatman Festival, I might try to make another one that's similar but different to this. And if I do, of course, I will come on here and show you guys at the end of the video, but that is him. Up next, I made some goblins. They are all from the same pattern, just once again, modified. The pattern itself comes with a lot of really cool variations of the goblin to begin with. So it really gives you a lot of opportunity to mix and match pattern pieces that she already provides to you to make something really cool. So I made a woodland goblin that looks like tree bark, because I don't know, I just thought it would be cool. I had this velvet yarn and this fluffy yarn that I thought would be really cool to mix textures. I also made this little mossy guy, and to me, with the little flower head, he just gives like, oh, he was planted in a pot and you plucked him out, kind of like a Pikmin, you know what I mean? I just thought this would be a really fun choice as well. I think I freehanded this. I think I just decreased down to like a round of 4 or 5 and did a couple extra rounds and then did a little flower on top. But love, 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 love. And then lastly, because again, we're keeping with this gothic grungy punk theme, I made him with all of the little decals, like all of my other plushies I've been doing for this event. And oh my goodness, the little nose piercing, the septum, come on, come on. Actually, I wanna know what your favorite is. I need to know. Tell me in the comments below. Do you like the punk goblin, plant goblin, or the tree goblin? Because they're all so different, but I think I love them equally, and this has just been so much fun. This has been such a fun and rewarding pattern making session. Like, I have just been having a blast prepping for these markets. We are just about done with the big stuff, and then I'll show you the minis that I made. This is a free pattern as well. It's just a cute little bat. I really like the way the wings fan on this one compared to other bat patterns, and it's free, so like, why not, you know? You know what? Shout out to all the free pattern creators in the crochet community. You guys are keeping us alive. You're keeping me alive. I have my fair share of paid patterns. I have a ton, but there's just something so exciting to me about testing out a free pattern and seeing how wonderful it turns out. And honestly, my biggest example of that are these little pumpkin boys. Oh my God. The only thing I would go back and change is I wish I had orange chenille yarn instead of blanket yarn, because chenille is much easier to scrunch into the pumpkin shape. But I was really determined to work with the yarn I had for this batch because I kind of have too many random bits and bobs of yarn. I have chenille here, blanket yarn here. I really just needed to like condense down so I could restock from scratch and ideally switch to chenille yarn. I've been a blanket girly forever, but with Joann's being closed down and it being so much less accessible, I really think it might be time for me to switch to chenille yarn. I also really love the way it looks. It's just a pain in the butt to work with. It makes a mess. But yes, if you're gonna make these, I recommend doing it in chenille yarn just so that the pumpkins scrunch up a little bit better. And I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, made 6 of these. So all of the little ones that I made are gonna be the ones I'm splitting down the middle. I'm bringing half tomorrow and half next weekend. And then all of the big stuff, I really don't know. I might put it all out tomorrow and just scramble to restock. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I'm not gonna have enough for both markets because it's just a tall order to have full stock for 2 markets. Next weekend is a 2-day event too, but Friday was really like the busiest day by far. So we're just winging it. We're just doing our best. Since I'm soloing tomorrow, I am gonna bring some yarn and try to work on a restock. But if it's busy, which fingers crossed, I won't be able to work. So we'll see. We'll see where the wind takes us. But yes, I do have 6 of these. And then the rest of my Mothman, now that we're at the bottom of my bag, I'm gonna sprinkle them in as well. We are officially down to my last 2 cuties, and I may as well just show them to you all at once. They are my super cheap, super affordable, like I just wanna get a little something, and that is of course the classic little tiny ghost that we all make. Don't know why that won't focus. I guess it's because it's white yarn. And these little candy corns, which are so fun to make. Seriously, these are so fun to make. I made so many. I think I made, let's see, I made 8 ghosts and I made 10 candy corn. So I am going to, again, split these down the middle. Actually, I might bring all the ghosts because they're pretty easy to restock. Anyway, I'm gonna bring a little bit to each market, and they are just gonna be like our little cost-effective, you know, cheap options. Normally, I try to bulk a lot of smaller, like low-ticket items for everybody, but I only had so much time. I had a market last weekend as well, so I have just been all crochet all the time, which is super fun and rewarding, but it's important to give yourself a break. Don't overwork your hands. I know it's tempting, but seriously, when your hands start to hurt, you need to have your wrist brace on and you need to be stretching and taking breaks because it is not worth hurting yourself to make more inventory. What is the difference in a couple $100 if your wrists hurt? Don't do it. So, with that being said, I tried really hard to be responsible this week, push myself without breaking, and this is what I came up with. So if you're curious to know what sells, you can look forward to a vlog from both of the events I've been talking about. First, the Kentucky Punk Rock Fleet, and then following that will be the Goatman Cryptids and Monsters Festival. So be sure to keep an eye out and let me know what you think in the comments below about all these patterns. Which ones are you most excited to try? Because honestly, I feel like I gave you guys a lot of really good ones this time around. So I'm just so excited. I'm an hour and a half from leaving to go set up, and I'm just super, super eager to get back out there and see all these babies up on display. There's just something so fulfilling about sitting back and seeing it all so pretty in the booth. So very much looking forward to that and very much looking forward to sharing it with you guys. I will be right back with a second batch of whatever I have managed to cram in. So let's see what Future Bree is able to pull off in the next 4 days. I'm gonna pop back here and give you guys a close-up of everything behind me, and then Future Bree will be back in about 5 days to let you know everything she managed to make before the next event. Fingers crossed she pulls it off. All right, we'll see her in a minute. Bye. Hello, hello, we are Future Bree. It is Friday. I am getting ready to once again leave to go set up for my event. I am on day 1 instead of day 0 this time, so as soon as I finish setting up, I'm jumping straight into the market today. So we're gonna knock this out really quick and I can show you what I managed to whip up in the last 4 days or so since my last market. So without further ado, let's jump right into this and wrap up the rest of the video. I think I did pretty well, all things considered. I hit a wall halfway through the day yesterday and was like, whatever's made is made. Like, I'm not gonna try to squeeze in one more plushie, but I did manage to make a few more things, so I'm satisfied. I think that we'll have a decently full stock. If you wanna see how the Kentucky punk rock flea market went, be sure to keep an eye out. It'll be the very next video posted on this channel, and I'm actually almost done editing it now, so it should be out very, very soon after this one. So I chickened out of making anything like too niche for this event, like just in case. I didn't want to make all cryptids, so I didn't, but I did make some. We'll go ahead and kick it off by saying I did manage to whip up one more Mothman. This one is a little bit smaller because of the yarn I used. I have the one that I said I was saving for this event for size comparison, and then the other one I made and brought to the punk rock flea did sell. So we're going in with 2 Mothman plus the small ones that I saved. And then I went ahead and made a Yeti. Oh my God, like his little face, I can't. This took the life out of me because I hate working with fluffy yarn, but in the spirit of destashing my yarn collection, this needed to happen. I needed to blow through a lot of this yarn, so he's really cute. I did not make the Bigfoot version of this pattern, which it is like a 2-in-1. Because the fluffy brown yarn I have, I despise with my whole life. I should just throw it away because it's impossible to work with. It's not even worth the headache. So we only made one, but to balance out the fact that I did not make any of the large Bigfoot plushies, I did make 2 small ones. And this is a 2-in-1 pattern as well. Obviously you can customize this with the white and blue yarn variant to make them Yetis, but oh my God, and they sit. This is completely no-sew. Fabulous pattern, worked up super quick. Managed to just knock a couple of these out because what is a cryptids festival without Bigfoot? I mean, you know. This one is more Halloween specific, but it was one of my best sellers last year as well. And that is Sam. I think that this one is so popular because of the details. Like I do sew all of this on here, but it's a banger. Last year, a girl came to my booth and she was completely dressed up like him, and it was just like so perfect. So happy to have made one more of these. I did sell out of both of the clowns that I brought to the last market, so I made one more. I wanted to make 2, but my black yarn that I ordered did not come in time. Oh my gosh, he's so fuzzy. Why didn't you guys tell me he was so linty? I'm gonna lint roll these when I get there to get the last little bits of polyfill off of them. I just haven't had time because I've been scrambling, but I did one more of these. These were one of the first things to sell at the punk rock flea, so like had to make another one. And lastly, I whipped up this Jackalope. He's so cute. He's a snuggler. I did stuff him a little bit, same as the other ones. I feel like I can never convince myself to leave a snuggler unstuffed. I always have to stuff them a little bit. I don't know why, but I thought he was so cute. I know he's one of the more popular cryptids, so I figured it was no-brainer type of plushie to sprinkle into the mix compared to some of the more niche ones, but he came out so cute. I'm so excited. I love how floppy his little ears are, and I am very optimistic that he will get adopted. So all in all, I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new plushies in 4 days, which is not bad considering how exhausted I was from last weekend's market and how I was balancing it with restocking my embroidery as well. It worked out. I mean, I always want more, you know, I'm always going to be striving to have more and more and more plushies, but at the end of the day, I'm happy with what I'm walking into the market with. I hope that it will be enough to last me both days. We will see. If you want to know how that went, right after the Kentucky Punk Rock Flea Market vlog comes out, this one will be shortly behind it, and I'm very much looking forward to sharing both with you. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and head over to my Instagram, astitchingwitch, to see more behind the scenes content. I also have an online shop where you can find my crochet patterns as well as all of my embroidered art and apparel. So if you're interested in the rest of what I make, be sure to check that out. And I will see you guys next time. We've got a handful of vlogs coming out, and then I will be back around for everything I crocheted for the holidays. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I'll see you then. Bye. Did I just like speed run that? Was I rambling? Was I talking so fast? I don't know. But I literally have to be out the door in 10 minutes. So I want to tell you guys which plushie sold at the punk rock flea so bad, but I can't. That's spoilers. You're gonna have to wait till the vlog. It's literally gigantic. Like, worth it. So worth it. Also, can we take a moment to appreciate my bangs that are finally trimmed? Because in the first half of this video, it had been like 2 months since I had my bangs professionally trimmed. That's how busy I've been with work. Not an excuse, but it just is what it is. So now you don't have to look at my crazy bangs anymore, and I'm really relieved because I was watching back the first part of this that I already started editing, and my bangs are crazy. So now they're snatched. Thank goodness for all of us.